Hello, fellow YouTubers. Back with my Christmas pickups for 2017. I don't think I've done I didn't do a Christmas pickup video last year. I'm not sure if it was the year before or the year before that. I mean, I think it's been a while since I've done an actual Christmas pickup video. First pickup, let's be honest here, I got for Christmas was my awesome N64 shirt that my wife got me for Christmas. Hey, who doesn't love Nintendo? I love Nintendo, always will. And N64 shirt is awesome. That's all I got to say about the N64 shirt. So going into Christmas this year, guys, it was rather interesting because in the past, going into Christmas, something always happened. Like, per se, my wife's father had Oldtimers, and that became, issue over the last couple of years. Our car would have some kind of issue going into Christmas. Something that would always limit what we could spend or do and what we wanted to do. This year, nothing like that happened. My job, I worked a lot of overtime. They let me work, the holiday season, we work a lot of overtime. I worked I worked November 26th to Christmas, so like 29 days in a row without a day off and getting overtime. And so this year we decided we're going to go. My son just turned 11. We keep asking, he keeps saying he doesn't know if Santa exists. I'm pretty sure he doesn't think he does, but it's kind of his last hurrah, right? He's 11 before he starts becoming a teenager, or become a teenager soon. So this is kind of like our last hurrah, right? He still likes kid things. He's not, though I never grew out of kid things, so it may not happen, but it could, right? So the last big hurrah this year. Not really restricting ourselves in a certain thing. And the only restriction I have, which I've had for a while, as people know on this channel, is my self-imposed video game restriction from Thanksgiving through January 15th, which is my birthday. Everybody who watches the channel, who's watched the channel, knows what this is about, but if you haven't, basically, the reason it's self-imposed is for years, my poor wife, for years, I would talk about a game, whatever it was to be. She'd go out and buy that game for Christmas or my birthday, whatever. And I'd want it so much that I'd ultimately go out and buy it. And then she would ultimately, return it and not say anything about it till Christmas. She used to, get mad at me because it would always happen. To try to go shop. Video games became a contention for her because I'd always buy the thing I wanted, and she could never really surprise me or get me what I wanted. So I started this many years ago, and I didn't, I would say, bear a massive fruit early or anything like that. A couple of years ago, one of the funny things that came of that thing was that when my wife was, younger like I was, she had the first Nintendo Game Boy. I never had it, but I played it. I was in the military, in the Navy. I had a roommate who had the Game Boy, and he had Tetris on it, and we'd all pass around, because there was three of us who lived in the room together on base. We would pass around having competition on who could beat the high score, right, or the highest level on Tetris. So I got it for her that year, a couple years ago, and ironically, she got me original Game Boy from the exact same place, both in great condition, and that was awesome. A little it's hard to shop retro video games for my wife because she doesn't have the history like I did yet. She had it on television when she was a kid. They had 6 games. She knew some of the NES, but she didn't really game a lot in that. But it was more the Game Boy. Really heavy gaming for her didn't start in consoles until we got to get on the PlayStation 1. Talking about the self-imposed video game thing, because I'm going to be I want to get that out of the way and then just not go all over the place. Originally going into this, because I thought Destiny 2 on the PlayStation 4, I own a PlayStation 4, would be my game to play while on my self-imposed thing. And I first got and played it, and I really didn't like Destiny 1 until Taken King DLC came out. That's when I really liked Destiny 1. I got irritated at the end of it when I owned a PS3 and they last DLC was on next gen. They weren't going to do it last gen, even though they said they would support the whole Destiny 1 that way. But I saw Destiny 2, they'd be cool. They're no longer inhibited by the old generation, and they can do a lot of cool things. And I got it, and Big Day, Darth, and me, we played Interclan, or whatever we played, and we were playing, but once it came to it just became a grind of the same thing. The events were the same all the time from last one, and it didn't seem like nothing new and interesting, and I just, quite frankly, just like a lot of things about it bothered me, and I stopped playing it. And so, in case I didn't want to go back to that, I picked up a game in a series I haven't played in 6 years. I can't believe it's been 6 years. I had to look it up, literally 6 years since I played a Call of Duty game, and I decided to get Call of Duty World War II right for my self-imposed thing. I've actually enjoyed playing it a lot. You know, it's funny, back when I played the first Call of Duty game I played was Modern Warfare on the PC. For the story, I never played multiplayer. But Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox 360, I played multiplayer a ton. I used to get frustrated not doing well. But maybe it's because I'm older. But playing this now, if one game I go 30-3, cool. And next game if I go 5-25, whatever. You know, I always mute it. I don't want to hear the people online who become the jerks that they are. That one guy who leaves his headset on and plays music that you don't want to hear, kind of thing. But I'm really enjoying it. I played through the campaign. I'm doing kind of like the lowest difficulty just to enjoy it. I really enjoyed the campaign. I'm not through it all the way. I played a lot of multiplayer. I'm just having fun, you know, and I'm glad I picked it up. I really am. I could say this is the greatest game, but it's Call of Duty. If you play a Call of Duty game, it has that Call of Duty familiarity, you know. It's just, again, it looks a lot better, and I'm enjoying it. And so that's it. I haven't got Disney 2's new DLC yet, and maybe that'll change my mind. But for now, I might not entirely be focusing on the PS4 after you see what I'm talking about in this video. So we're gonna go retro. There's one retro thing I got my wife gaming because it has a history with us. There's always gonna be stories I tell stuff. So back when we first started dating, I had a PlayStation 1. Me and my wife at the time, and the first thing she ever got me as a gift was Wild Arms 1 on the PS1. It's funny because I've told the story before. She got me Wild Arms 1, the first 3D RPG, you know, that was released. Well, it hasn't aged well, the original version of it. A game I love. I know it was remade on the PlayStation 2, but I love a remaking or another Wild Arms game. I love that series. But one day she sat there, she watched me play, and she goes, "Can I play?" And, you know, at the time, like, hey, my girlfriend wants to play video games, get into the hobby that I love. Sure, go ahead, sit right here. Here's the controller. Get out of my save. I've saved already. Start your own game. Have fun. And I watched her play, and it was enjoyment for me at the time, watching her play, you know, the game, and you know, all that learning you do, and these, you know, things you don't, you know, excitement, things you don't know is going to happen, and all that stuff. Exploring a world and seeing all the different, you know, monsters and stuff. And she would come over and play, you know, sometimes she'd say, "Hey, can I play? Go ahead." And then the funny thing about that game was, and this is why it's so, besides the first gift that she started playing, it's infamous between me and her, and we always joke about it, you know, every year, is we got a strategy guide for it. It said there's a point where there's like a phoenix, like drawn, like in the ground, right? Like drawn white in the ground, right? Sand grounder. And in it said you had to go around it a certain way to get this thing, or you had to do it to beat the boss. Well, she went around it, and then nothing ever happened. And she eventually frustrated and quit. Every 6 months or 3 months, she'd pick up the controller and try it again. This went on for like 3 years. It was literally a yearly joke. A game, I would joke, she's never going to beat that game kind of thing. After 3 years, one day she says, "Heck with this." She went on, she beat the final boss easily, and she never understood why that was in there. But because of that, I was looking around online, and I found a poster for Wild Arms 1 artwork, which I got for her, which you're going to hang here, because this game is always infamous in our relationship and memories that you can't recreate, you can't, you know, put a price on that. So that was really awesome. But she surprised me because I set up a Christmas area with the old, back when I used to record, you know, short time when I recorded my YouTube game community videos in front of my game collection, standing up over it was over here, which I don't know why I'm pointing, you can't see it. I have a Christmas area set up, and my son wanted to play NES Duck, and I'm like, "Oh, cool, sure." So I had the CRTV, I put it over there, you know, close to, near the tree, and we were playing Duck Hunt the other day, and asked my wife, what system did she want? This is where she got sly. She said, I want a PlayStation 1. Those PlayStation 1 hooked up. I asked, why didn't you want the PlayStation 2? But she said 1, because she loves PlayStation. Again, first system she got, we were together and, played it ever since. And the reason why I say she's being sly about it was the biggest surprise for my Christmas was she got me Grandia 1 on the PlayStation 1. Now, here's what's funny. So, last couple of years, she's had a really hard time shopping for me because a lot of things going on. Like I said, I was like her dad and other stuff. A lot of things are going on, different things. My son's doing all these things, the cost of the money and all stuff. I just simply didn't really get into, I have to have things, so I didn't really I may, mention one game and then that's it, just mention I heard news about, but I didn't, say I want anything. So what she wanted this year, she was very frustrated on what to get me. She had no clue. The only actual retro game I got in last year was actually Contra 3 on the Super Nintendo. I love that game. And so, we're going to mention the channel later anyway. Happy Council Gamers channel, they did an 18-year anniversary for Grandia, him, Robman, and Aaron, all talked about their love of Grandia. And now I have Grandia 2 on the Dreamcast. I bought Grandia 2 with my original Dreamcast, and of course, got it when my wife was massive, many years ago, this massive, Dreamcast is massive, 100 games that she had gotten for Christmas and birthday, which she feels she'll never top. Which, this year I didn't go about me, it was more them. I really wasn't worried about what I was getting this year. I was worried about, them having a great, unbelievable Christmas. But she got me Grandia 1. Now, what did she get me this thing? This thing is in, perfect condition. Everything in this thing is perfect. It's unbelievable. She got it from a store in town called Bob's Bay. They only sell old stuff. That's where I got my my good old I'm gonna say it. I want to say it's not Rock Lord. My good old and stuff there. So he has boxed NES games, Super Nintendo games. That's where I actually got my Classic Series boxed complete Zelda from. And it's cool that she got me this. This is awesome. I can't wait to play this game. And she loves the PlayStation 1 and old PlayStation 1 RPG, so that's cool. Actually, probably have a lot of enjoyment watching her play this, truthfully, but it's cool. And this was my big surprise I did not expect to get for Christmas. One of the other things I kind of expected because we actually talked about it. So, we went in this year giving my son this big hurrah, right? What are we going to give him for big hurrah for Christmas? So, going in the embargo this year, my wife had actually planned on getting me and my son, as a surprise, Nintendo Switch. Now, she was going to surprise me with him, but this is where the butt comes in. Last year, I was hoping she'd give me a PlayStation 4 for Christmas. I mentioned a lot, and she didn't. And the last year when I won my fantasy football league, plus all this money I got for other people, I went out and bought one. But the reason why I was going to get this no matter what, is my son's never had that Christmas wake up and open up and get a video game system, right? You always remember that Christmas, one, two, whatever, you got a video game console for Christmas, and that's what I wanted him to have. And he went into Christmas telling us how much he wanted a Nintendo Switch, how he wanted his own console. He's never had one. And so she told me she looked and why she was not upset. She was mildly she really wanted to surprise me because she's never done that before. It mattered more to me that he had that kind of Christmas experience. What's funny about getting the Switch for him, and what games did he want? This is what was funny about it to me. So we have a Wii U, right? We have a Wii U. And the two games he actually wanted were on the Wii U, where sequels are related to the Wii U. So the first game he wanted was a game we all wanted to play. We all love Splatoon. And so we got him Splatoon 2. This is one he wanted, Splatoon 2. I actually loaded, I hooked up the Switch last night, night before Christmas, and, updated it and updated the game. And I must say, I love that Nintendo Switch. It is such a great console. So easy to use. It's unbelievable how much we've only had a day and how much we've all actually we just fell in love with the console. The other one was even funnier because we own this game and all the DLC on the Wii, but he wanted for the Wii U, and that was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is a great racing game. And I'm hoping that because this got released early, we'll finally get an F-Zero game on the Switch, right? Finally a new, I'm hoping. Maybe. Hopefully. I also hope they put more DLC out for this, because this is all here. It'd be cool if they did more DLC. This is a great racing game. But for him, I wanted to experience with him this last game I got him. I bought him myself. I wanted him to experience a game series that I loved. Originally was on the NES. I have it on the Dreamcast. And that's Bomberman. So I bought him Super Bomberman R. Which I love how different. Like, all the normal Nintendo games have that, like, here's our white thing. I love how this one has, like, just a little more colorful on the side. We played through this today. Me and him. Because I got a Pro Controller today. These are expensive, by the way, but I got a Pro Controller. Me and him together, co-op, play through the story mode on easy. We'll play through it on a harder level as we go along, because I want him to enjoy, like, not be frustrated with the screens. Play through the entire game, story mode today, on easy, and we both had a blast. And that's what I really wanted, right? To him to experience, like, when you talk about a bucket list of games that you're hoping come out in the current generation, so me and my son could experience it together. I love. This would have been one of them, and it was. I really like this game. We both did. It's a lot of fun. You are gonna, even on easy, you are probably gonna, maybe the third or fourth, fifth boss, you might have to look up kind of how to beat the bosses. We did have the third one, and I know we did the fifth one. Look up just a hint. But this is we had a lot of fun playing this. And after we beat it, a new world opened up in story mode, so we'll play it again in a harder difficulty. It'd definitely be playing online multiplayer. This is just such a fun game. I'm so glad this came out on the Switch. It's just memories will never be able to to replace with him. I'm so grateful for that. Now, my wife got 2 games on the Switch, and here's what's funny. We went out together to shop for him. And we looked at the Switch, and I knew she wanted, because she has it on the Wii U, she wants Xenoblade Chronicles 2. She loves RPGs. She's playing it right now, actually. I love how graphically beautiful that game is. It really is awesome to see that Titans and everything. I knew she'd want this, and I got it. All right? The game that surprised me, we're sitting there looking at the case, and the game that surprised me that she wanted, I would never expected it, because she's never played a single game in this series. She likes RPGs, but this isn't like, this game isn't, the series is, but this isn't like an RPG. And that is Fire Emblem Warriors. She said, do you know anything about that game? That game looks really cool. I guess she'd seen something online, and so I got it for her. Like, you know what? She likes it, I'm going to get it for her and let her try it, right? So I got those 2 games for her on the Switch, because the Switch is going to be one of my major focuses this year. I mean, with Mega Man 11 coming out late this year, with 30th anniversary Street Fighter stuff, I want to play those on the Switch. I love Nintendo, since the NES, and that's just what's going to be. Now, I did get 1 game for Christmas on the Switch, and I want to show you that before I tell you. I didn't finish my son's Switch story, because there was an interesting thing that happened about this for Christmas. So, I love Zelda, right? I do. I've been playing the recent Zeldas. The NES Zelda, I rented and played the Super Nintendo Zelda. I didn't own it, but I rented it and we played it. I rented Skyward Sword when it came out, played some of it. I enjoyed it. I just never went back to it. I just never did or got it. Well, for Christmas, my wife's mother got me Zelda Breath of the Fire Explorers Edition, which comes with a map and a book. And listen, there's nothing better than getting a game with a map. It's one of the best things in the world. I know this won Game of the Year, the Video Game Awards, because I watched it and that stuff, and I can't wait to sit down and play it. What I love the most about this, and even though it's not cloth, is the map. because that's what I love. I don't know. It's just something about a map that's so unbelievably awesome. It's a two-sided map, actually. So, on one side you get, the Mount Horo, and if I get it right, and all that stuff. Then on the other side, it's just a blank map of Hyrule. So that's really cool. See, if I was a kid, I would have hung this on the wall, right? And when I played the game every day, and just stared at it and memorized the map, till I knew every nook and cranny of it. That's what I used to do, my Nintendo Power and other stuff. In my games, I would literally memorize the art. I would stare at the box and I memorized every single line of that box, every single page in the instruction booklet, if there's a map, every single thing in the map, and play the game until I knew every single piece. Because that's all you got was a couple games a year, right? And so I'm really glad I got this. It's really cool, and I will definitely sit down. And the book is really awesome because the book in here actually kind of gives you the history of Zelda, and of course explains things in the current game. But and I know they just announced, or it was reported, that they're working on the next Zelda. Though I'd be surprised if it comes out this generation, but hey, maybe, you never know. I mean, whoever thought we'd get a Mario Kart, a Mario game, and a Zelda game to launch of a system either, and that happened. So one other thing, talking about Zelda, my wife got me, because again, she knows I like Zelda. She got me the Zelda history book in past Christmases. Well, she got me the Legend of Zelda Collector's Puzzle. I haven't opened yet. It's 550 pieces. It's basically the map. And that's really awesome. Like I said, that's cool. It's just a cool thing to have. I don't know when, if I'll ever put it together. Someday I'll maybe eventually put it together, but for now, I just like it. And one day when if I feel the hunkering, I may open it and put it together. But still, it's so cool to have this. Really cool. This I wasn't expecting either. So, talking about video game related stuff that's not necessarily console based. So, we've gotten ornaments the last couple of years. I got the Mario ornament last year. I got a Mario ornament, then I got a Zelda ornament. It's like a little styrofoam ball, but outside is like a glossy print of Zelda. It's really cool. It's a really cool ornament. Well, this year for Hallmark ornament, they did a Mario thing, and my son loves Yoshi. It's his favorite character. And so she got him the Hallmark Yoshi. She said there was a Mario and Luigi was special, but she couldn't find them. They were sold out when she became aware of them. For me, but for those who don't know, I'm a big Transformer fan, right? Ever since I was cartoon show debuted on the Bozo Show, and I watched it and was on TV. I loved the Transformers. And this year when I found out this had come out, I had said, wow, it's kind of cool that actually a Hallmark Transformer toy came out. One of the ones I loved from the cartoon, and that was Soundwave. So it looked cool because the laser beaks in his chest. So that's a really cool ornament. Love me the old school Transformers. By the way, on a side note, for my son for Christmas this year, we went big, right? I said we went big. He wanted, Transformer. I went out and got him it was part of Titan's Return Toyland Transformers. That was the big, massive Decepticon Transformable City Tricepticon for Christmas. He was playing it all day. It's so awesome. And I also got him the new Toyland account, Power of the Primes. They're releasing the Generations line, as they're really calling it. They're releasing old figures. They released, the Dinobots, but they're all transforming into a combiner. I got him Autobot Jazz because he loves cars, and it's Jazz. So he was playing with that today, too. So I did say I have a PlayStation 4 for my last pickups. I know this video is probably going to go really long, but it is what it is. So for my wife, I saw this come up on Limited Run Games. This year, my wife beat Ys 8. Actually, not that long ago. She ironically played the new Star Ocean, because I love Star Ocean. She ironically played the new Star Ocean on the PlayStation 4 all the way through and beat it. And then right after she beat that, she beat Ys 8. And I will say Ys 8 is a better game than Star Ocean. Star Ocean has a lot of flaws. I know it was known that it was in development at the same time as Final Fantasy 15 was in development. And obviously, it had a lower budget because of that. And so you could see it in the game. But Ys 8 was great. At first, she kind of got frustrated in it, where to go, but she got down to that. And ironically, they're both kind of action RPGs. But she loves these since E7 on the PSP. And limited run games released on the PS4, E's Origin, and I had to get it for her. Again, this is probably the first gift I got her for Christmas when I saw it. I probably should have bought 2 copies to get the 2 different covers they had, but it's really cool. This is one of the second game ever, besides Sonic Mania, where like usually they limit to like 1,900 the regular, with 3,900 the regular copies and like 1,900 copies of like limited edition. This one, it was however many they got ordered kind of thing, and I'm really glad I got it for her because she loves E's, and it's on the PlayStation 4, so she can play that. Now I kind of already knew. I thought I was only going to get one game on my PlayStation 4 this year, and I knew what it was. We went out and saw Star Wars The Last Jedi. I liked the movie. I know people are bashing it. To be honest, Star Wars fan base is weird. I get it. It's something new, different. When I first left the theater after seeing the movie, I was not sure what to think of it. I mean, I thought the actors did a great performance. I knew it was a good movie. But Mark Hamill made it iffy for me because I love Luke Skywalker. But I also understood that in the movie, he portrayed Luke Skywalker like he'd always been portrayed. Luke Skywalker always, when he first got trained to do the Force with Obi-Wan Kenobi, he gave up and couldn't believe he could beat the little flying ball, or feel anything. When he was with Yoda, he believed he couldn't, raise his X-Wing fighter. So him kind of giving up kind of always happened. So what happened in the movie made sense to me. I get why some people don't like it. Not everybody's going to like everything. I loved it. We all had fun watching the movie, me and my wife's son. It was his birthday gift. It was out. Star Wars was released on his birthday, and we took him to see it. He enjoyed it. But the Star Wars community is kind of weird, because remember, when the prequel movies came out, they introduced the Sith, and that fans were upset then. So Star Wars fans are, I think, with all the hype and everything these days around it, I don't think you can please everybody. I enjoyed the movie a lot, and for me, how I feel about 7 and 8 will really determine movie 9. Like, episode 9 will determine how I feel about that whole trilogy ultimately. And that's why I enjoyed it for what it was. And we'll wait till movie 9 to see how I feel about the whole thing. But saying that, and the EA controversy, I still wanted to play Star Wars Battlefront 2. Because I know it has a single-player campaign. And I know that'd be what I would focus on, especially if they're going to do the Loot Crate thing, with the DLC being in the Loot Crate. Now, I'm not against Loot Crates. I play Transformers Earth Wars on my phone. I'm in a group that usually in major events is between 100 and 200 places in the world, and they spend a lot of money in that game with Loot Crates. I've only spent about, I think, 50 the whole time I played the game. I've grinded my way through it, but a lot of people in my group have spent literally thousands of dollars on the game. They love the G1 Transformers, and they want them, and that's the only game they play. But I wanted to put this thing. I actually bought literally 3 months ago or so. I bought the first Battlefront game for $5, and I get why people don't like it. It was not very well made like it should have been, despite it graphically looked really good. But I can't wait to play this. I've already put it and installed it. And after I'm done recording this, I'm going to play the campaign. I know the Last Jedi DLC just came out too, so that'll be cool. But my last game I got was kind of a surprise because I love the series. I had 6 on the 360. I wasn't expecting my wife to get me Tekken 7. I haven't got the tag off all the way yet. Tekken 7 on the PS4. And I played Tekken 6 actually a lot on the 360. I played online a lot too, even though I didn't do very well. Can't wait to play. I can't wait to see how the story turns out too after I play it. And so I was excited that Soul Calibur 6 got excited for the series to come back. Things I remember. Remember Soul Calibur was such a big deal in the arcade when it came out, and when it came out to console, PlayStation. But I'm torn on getting it. I might get it. I don't hate it. I just decide is it something I really want to play, or am I just kind of getting excited because of the nostalgia factor for other people going to buy it, that kind of thing. But Tekken 7 I am going to play, obviously through the story, and then obviously online, and really cool to have it. Can't wait to play it. But the one thing my wife got me, as this super long video goes on forever, is a movie I love for Christmas. I know I saw a lot of people played it on, or was watching this online, or watching this today for Christmas. It is my favorite Christmas movie of all time. And I says it to my wife, like, I cannot believe I don't own this movie. I keep thinking I own the movie. I own the first one. I own actually National Lampoon's Vacation, but I don't own National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And so she got it for me on Blu-ray, and I am going to watch this movie. My son's never seen it, and he said, "Well, I've never seen it." I go, "Well, you know what? You're going to watch this movie so many times in the near future because I got it. You will have it memorized. You will love it, live it. It'll be your life." But I'm really glad I got this movie. It's really awesome. Now the last thing, well, real quick, before I get the last thing, one thing my son wanted for Christmas real quick that threw me off was he wanted a Rubiks Cube, so I got him one. I told him, he already unraveled it, and so he got that side with one, that I just got to figure out where to put it. This I don't know why he wanted one, but okay, cool. He had a mini one when he was little, and he could never figure it out, so he's got a Rubiks Cube. One of the things I had as a kid, and I did that thing, you did that thing to it. And all summer long, I tried to put it back, and I always had that one color that wouldn't go where it went back. So ultimately, what I did was I popped that piece off, another one, and put them in the right place to finally get it back to, the same color everywhere. So this last thing I got for Christmas, this very last thing, and this is a very long video. Happy Council Gamer a long time ago did, anime to watch, like his favorite anime. My wife and me were watching it. She wanted new anime she's like, "Man, I shouldn't find new anime to watch." And I said, "Hey, how about we watch his video?" And we did. And one of the videos on there was the Irresponsible Captain Tyler's anime, which I've never seen, and she never seen. And she goes, "That'd be interesting." And I tried to find the same box he had. It was either more than I wanted to pay for it, or it wasn't ever available, I think, after that point. So this year I said, you know what? I was thinking about it. I said, I'm going to get it. Now, just get it on Blu-ray. And so I got her the Irresponsible Captain Tyler, all 5 discs, all 650 minutes of it, so we can watch through. Me and her can watch through it, and it'll be a lot of fun. We're both anime fans. It was funny because when I was finding this, I love monster movies, right? Godzilla, King Kong, that's Ultraman, right? I have the original Ultraman on DVD. When I was watching this, I had turned on Crunchyroll. I was wrapping her presents, and I was watching the Ultraman Guide series. It's at 25 episodes right now, and I'm enjoying it. Again, it still has the rubber suit stuff, but I like those kind of things, and I was watching that while wrapping up this stuff, ironically enough. So that's everything we got for Christmas. A lot of stuff this year. We went crazy. We got the new console. We got a bunch of games to play. Besides the old stuff I want to play, truthfully. But the Switch will be my main focus this year. I'm going to do a video response to Tyler's 2018 Collecting Goals video, because that's kind of time I'm talking. But getting a Switch is awesome. It's so easy to use. Getting more games on my PlayStation 4 to play that. And it was just all around awesome Christmas for everybody. So what do you guys get for Christmas? Did you guys get anything that I got for Christmas? Do you have the Switch? Do you love it? To me, it just to be able to take it out and go on the go, if you want to, and just keep playing whatever you're playing, is such a cool thing. Or you can play it anywhere, right? Hey, someone's watching TV, pop it out, play it. I saw that a lot of games are already coming out for Switch, like, Dragon Quest Heroes is coming, or Dragon Quest Builders coming out in February. So it's really cool. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. That is the 2017 Christmas pickups this year. A lot of gaming stuff this year. I know in some years it's been kind of, a little, but this year was just a big year. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll put up another video soon. Latest.